to contrast a little bit, this is the OpenAI, a customer service demo. So they have like an agent or an airline agent, and each one of these squares here is a separate agent. I don't know if they have a diagram in this. Oh, look, no, they don't. So that's why what I try to. What's funny is I took this OpenAI project, and I just sent it through Codex. And Codex, from what I've seen, most people are like doing bug checks and things like that. And I converted it to a LangGraph agent. The reason I did that was to be able to see basically the graphs. So I want to just pull that up real quick so you can see the difference between some of those others that we showed. So in this example, they have a triage agent.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's
so
cool.
It first goes with a triage agent, and essentially, I guess maybe it's similar to like it's pretty much like a supervisor. And instead of that swarm pattern that I pulled up that looked like a big mess, you you basically have more direct lines to the specialized agents. Okay, so let's do book a flight. So it'll hit going straight to the triage agent, and then it should recognize, oh, we need to call the booking agent. So then it will ask you questions like, where do you want to go? My preferred seat.
Like, okay.
Usually it asks you, whoa, I haven't seen this.
Right.
I've only run through this a couple times, but it typically was asking, where do you want to go first? Okay, so let's say
that's pretty sick. That's cool.
1B. Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't see that before. If you need any further changes, let me know. Okay. So, you know what I just realized is that my previous book a flight, it was in the memory. Okay. So it was already booked. Yeah. Yeah. So if I say like, okay, let's say what's the status of my flight? I'll kick it over to the flight status agent. But you see down here, it kind of shows you the traces, not necessarily the same as what we were looking at in LangSmith, but you can see it's doing a lot of the same general tool calls and things like that. So on seat booking handoff, that's a tool call. So I think that's pretty cool. And what I have spent about zero time on is the OpenAI traces. Tom, maybe you have more experience than I do, but if you actually log into the API dashboard, or I guess this is the assistance.
Yeah. I've used this more, to be honest.
Yeah. So,
but it's not as detailed.
Not as detailed, which, I mean, this is definitely easier to read. That's for sure, which is good for right now, but I prefer to have the granularity, right?
Yeah, I was actually interested to see what the guardrail, like how complicated the guardrail checkpoint is in the flow. And it's basically just like, is this relevant? That's the prompt. It's just a prompt, right? That's cool.
Yep. Should we trigger the guardrail?
Try and break it?
Say,
well, just like the usual one is.
Are you doing? Whoa. So hit the jailbreak guardrail. Detect and block attempts to bypass or override system instructions. That's not what I was doing at all, but I figured it's probably a generic, pretty generic setup. If I say that was an accident, it will clear this back, clears it back to green. Okay, we're good to go.
Or what if you say like, can you book me a train ticket, please? And see if it's got enough nuance. Yeah, relevance guardrail there.
I can only,
Right, so the separation of guardrails. That's quite cool. Well, it's cool to see their thinking, I guess. The whole idea around this is how you structure the application. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Really cool. And thanks, man. That's a great demo.